Welcome back to the show, everyone. We're here again talking about the New Iberia Championship Gumbo Cook-Off, and I think we're going to start making our stocks, gumbo.
Yes, we are. I want to spend a second talking about the Gumbo Cook-Off. This year, it's sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce, as always. There'll be 92 teams that are down showing up at the Gumbo Cook-Off.
That blows my mind how many, that's a lot.
Many great cooks are there. Last year, you had James Trahan on your show. James went on to win a first and a second at the Gumbo Cook-Off. So there's some great cooks, and it promotes New Iberia, and it certainly promotes our area.
It's pretty hard to do with that many contestants or teams, isn't it?
That is correct, and according to the rules, you have to make your roux on site, and you can bring your stock. And the reason that I want to focus today on stock is because stock is the body of the gumbo. And whether you're in one of three categories, which is seafood, you have any kind of chicken and sausage, or melange, which can be anything you might imagine in a gumbo, whatever. But according to the rules, you can bring a stock to the gumbo. So there's a lot of difference between extrapolating a small pot that we might cook at home and having to cook a minimum of 5 gallons. The pot we'll cook in will be 25 gallons, but if I show up and I'm cooking with water and you show up as a professional chef and you've got a stock.
Like we were saying earlier, I'm already ahead of you.
You're ahead of me to start with. So I want to talk a little bit this morning about what the stock is and why it's so important.
All right.
We'll start off this morning with our vegetables. And we all understand about the Holy Trinity, but the onions themselves, the ends of the onions, we're going to put in the pot. And we'll use
peeling and all, yeah.
Peeling and all, but this part of the onion we'll save when we're going to make our Trinity, as we call it. So our onions ends go in, as well as our outside edge. Put that right into the pot.
Can't have a good stock without onions.
Onions are great.
Or celery and carrots. Cold.
We're going to do the same thing with our celery. So I'm actually feeding the pot. If we were not making a stock, we would cut this down and not have any waste, but we're going to put it into our stock. We're going to use the hearts that we wouldn't chop up, but we'll put those into our stock. Then we'll have these. I brought some carrots today, and you ask yourself, why carrots? I don't put carrots in gumbo. You might not put them in gumbo, but we're only making a stock.
A true stock is made with what's called mirepoix. Mirepoix is 100% onions, 50% celery, and 50% carrots. Meaning if you have, let's say, a pound of onions, you would use a half pound of carrots, half pound of celery. That would make your mirepoix. Classical French.
And he's certainly onto something, because you'll notice a distinct absence of what I've put in here. You'll notice there is no bell pepper in here, so he has...
Or garlic or anything like that.
He has his hand on exactly what we're trying to accomplish at this time. The other thing that we're going to do, we'll have some green onion that we're going to put at the end of our gumbo, and we'll just trim this just a little bit. And when we get down to the stalk of the onion, we're going to put that into our stock. So we've got a couple of kinds of onions.
The end is one of the most flavorful parts of the green onion, in my opinion.
I want to say too that we want to always be careful when we're cooking, so if you'll allow me to put on some gloves, we're not going to cross-contaminate our vegetables with our raw chicken. And under less than ideal circumstances, I'm sure if we were at your restaurant, we would have a sink to wash our hands, but being that we don't today, we're going to still notice some of the basics. These are chicken gizzards, and the reason I'm adding the gizzards is, as these boil apart, they're going to create a certain viscosity for the stock, as well as give a flavor. The reason I put gizzards is I like gizzards.
I love gizzards.
Some people will put they'll put livers.
Liver, whatever.
You can add more necks.
Chicken necks. Smoked chicken necks.
I also like to put a little fresh sausage into the stock. It's going to add a little bit of a flavor. It's not a smoked sausage, so
green sausage.
That's correct. You can buy these ingredients at the local Piggly Wiggly.
Definitely.
So those are available.
We have several locations, right, Jason?
We have 3 locations now. We have 1305 Heather Drive, 8410 Highway 182 North, and 16229 Highway 1 Simsport.
Good.
Got
I forgot
it.
that last number.
And it is very important as we celebrate a local gumbo cook-off that we remember that when we shop local, we're helping local merchants. So
That's right.
Always shop local, always.
the relationship that we have with our butcher when we say that we're going to cook 25 gallons of gumbo, having the chicken prepared, if you have that relationship, you don't get that with one of the national stores.
Right.
They have a package and you get it the way it is.
don't
but
care.
when you have that relationship with your local butcher at a Piggly Wiggly, you're good to go.
Pig is best for that too, by the way.
They really are.
You just ring that little bell, whatever you want, they do it, they package
They
it however
come
you
out.
want.
Chicken necks going into our stock. We have some, the insides of the chicken. On this, I am going to leave all of the fat on. And I'll say you have the option of cutting up your chicken. We're going to begin our stock right now as we're talking. And after we come back from the break, we'll look at our stock. But the other thing that we're going to do, we're going to brown some chicken thighs.
Already
And
smelling good in here.
a lot of the good cooks insist on browning the chicken that goes into the gumbo.
Just another layer of flavor, buddy.
So there's some things that I hope to illustrate today that a lot of the good chefs and cooks that are down in New Iberia will do that are behind the scenes that you might not see.
Okay, Ben, we're going to go ahead and let your thighs brown a little while. We're going to take a short break and come back with more What's Cooking.